Welcome back. We are here for Apocalypse Keys, Bonds of Power, episode 17. Holy crap. Yeah, I tried to sum it up for Wisp. I think I messed it up, but I mean, you know, um, some important things that weren't necessarily addressed last time, but we knew happened is that, um, is that Agent Ehrlich went over to Archivist and um, Agent Danvers went over to Wolf Towers. So, two casinos down, two more to go. And, oh, yes, and just as a recap from last time, let's see, what ticked over? Oh, yes, they got a mysterious phone call on a red rotary phone asking them to place their bets. And there was a sound of a roulette ball rolling and then falling into place. And then a handful of guests at the Red Rock dropped dead. Yeah, yeah. That's from last time.
As you do.
As you do.
It
So,
wasn't Zero's fault.
uh-huh.
No, it was Vivi's fault.
He answered the phone. That's what happened. Alrighty. Wisp, you were coming from Feyland, and you were still over at Sherwood. I think you would have seen the rainstorm that had happened, that started to bring in debris and trash into the center square between the casinos. And I think you would have also spotted maybe from one of the connecting bridges from Sherwood to the other casinos. I think you would have seen Agent Ehrlich again head over to Archivist, which is the window crystal looking one, and then and then Agent Danvers was headed over to Wolf Towers. So, just so you know what you're looking at, this is Archivist, and then this is a simulation, although much brighter and lighter, of Wolf Towers. So, where would you like to go?
My recollection is that Wisp was sort of at the crossroads, like a bridge back to Sherwood,
Hmm.
and one going toward Wolf Towers.
Okay.
And I think she's headed to Wolf Towers.
Okay. All right. So before I go to Wisp, first, where are you three going? Having seen several guests pretty much keel over, dead, and of course, Zero denying any culpability. Where do you three go?
We were going to Archibus, I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think Zero would want to know what just happened. So head toward the screaming.
Okay.
Yeah, screaming's always fun.
I mean, for ease of use, we could even say something like Vivi, like time shifted and maybe moved out of the area, like, right after the phone call, and then, like, didn't hear the next moment of screaming and people dropping dead. I mean, if we want to make it, separate, that's fine. And if not, then just tell me what you want to do. All right. So, Wisp, you are headed over to Wolf Towers. And just as a reminder, Wolf Towers has, yeah. It has the look of kind of like this old hotel that's combined with like a statuesque kind of look, but it's worn down, like very like old and dated feeling, but not old in the sense of classic or traditional or history. It's just very worn. And the sky above it does not look like that, does not look blue. It's actually kind of gray from the remnants of the storm that had happened earlier. Um, and when you go in, you will see it's very retro, very old school casino. It's not refurbished, it's just kind of out of time. Smoking everywhere. And there's a smell of it permeating in every single thing in the rooms. Well worn carpets, cheap lounge singers as featured acts. Maybe like you'll see like the stream of dim, smoky lights. And things feel. What gives you the sense? Paint the scene for everybody. What gives you the sense here in this retro, old school casino look that gives you the sense that this is not only tacky, but sticky? This is Wolf Towers.
As the people walk around in it, there's if you ever walked on a floor where someone has spilled something, there's that distinctive kind of adhering sound on the bottom of a shoe, the kind of like rip squelch. Yeah, that at a low volume, just constantly as people move around the little tearing rip as they move their feet.
Horrific. Thank you.
I think
Now I
that
know
the,
what you said. Here, Matt, you can go first.
the other guy. But I think the walls are all matte and not shiny with that kind of greasy dust that you see on top of like a oven vent or something. Can't tell from afar, but if you happen to brush by it, you get a little gunky.
Well, I know what you said, but also the decor in here, terrible. Cannot pick a theme. We've got a fireplace from the 70s, Greco-Roman columns for some reason. A miniature of Big Ben is the centerpiece of the room. There's like a circle of tropical flowers around it. It's a mess.
I like the idea that the lounge singers sing exclusively like retro novelty songs. So they're doing, like Yakety Yak. They're doing Purple People Eater. They're doing Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. Those little like earworm songs that are just like oral popcorn, basically.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I think you duck down. I mean, even, of course, the doors give that impression. It's like, for a lower time, a smaller time, something. It just kind of gives this sense of like closing in, almost cave-like, with all this retro, nonsensical decor and stickiness and tackiness. And you duck down and step in, Wisp. And it's like dark woods, if it's not with dull chrome. Pardon. And you hear the jingle of slots. You hear the murmur of people at card tables, but they all have this look of like jadedness. Like as if they've been doing this for quite some time. And most of them probably have. But yeah, it shows. It shows in their posture, it shows on their face. And I think from the side of the foyer in this dim lighting, I think um, you'll see Lydia come from underneath one of the beaded curtains from one of the other rooms, looking puzzled. Wisp, oh, good thing you're here. Um, have you seen things that are familiar around this casino complex? Things that you weren't expecting to see? from the past?
I think that when the camera sort of pans up to Wisp's face, she sort of has that same jaded, listless look um, to her as the other denizens of the casino. She just feels totally drained after the fight and after the confrontation with Donovan. And I think she's like sort of drifting over to the bar. Um, and she says to Lydia, no, I didn't have expectations about what I would find. So I can't say I haven't seen anything I didn't expect. Why do you ask?
I mean, in our current business, you'd think it would be natural to believe in ghosts, but I feel like I saw one. I followed one here today. Today, whatever day this happens to be. If you look at the chronometer, time's gone haywire. And she looks at your face and then realizes, have you eaten yet? I mean, or I'm sorry. Um, did you have any refreshment lately? Can I get you anything?
I think if we've wandered near enough to the bar, Wisp is taking a seat on one of those kind of retro spinny bar stools.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and immediately digs her clawed fingers into the ashtray that's sitting on the bar and just starts popping cigarette butts into her mouth.
Oh, no, don't do that, Wisp. Here, come on. And she pulls out of her cargo pants, she pulls out, like, a fresh pack of cigarettes, and she tosses them over to you. Like, yeah, you definitely want to do fresh. You do not want to have the smoked ones. That's gotta be gross.
It adds a kind of interesting flavor, but okay. And she'll,
It's
tear open the fresh box.
it's the it's the brand of cigarettes that Agent Peace usually has on him, that he insists that like, don't eat it or whatever, but you like them. You really like them.
Oh, these are my favorite.
Yeah, these are
Yeah,
your favorite.
Old Faithful.
Uh-huh.
Um, Wisp offers Lydia a cigarette, kind of like between her two fingers, the way you might offer a cigarette for like normal use, but she clearly means for Lydia to eat one.
I'm off nicotine. It's okay. Thanks. Um, and then she'll kind of call over the bartender, who doesn't seem to bat an eye, that you're like 8 feet tall and you're sitting at the bar eating cigarettes, and just he kind of like rubbing like a really dirty rag into a glass. Yeah, what can I get you, ladies? And then Lydia will just kind of like look at, you know, kind of give you a sidelong glance and yeah, just dump a bottle of Jack right here. I can pay for it. And yeah, he'll slide over like a full bottle of excuse me, Jack Daniels.
2-liter bottle of Sprite for me.
I don't really do. Oh wait, you know what? Okay, hold on. He'll go underneath the bar and dig up this really sticky 2-liter bottle of Sprite, and just like plunk it on the bar. Oh man, when was the last time you got that? Lydia asks him, and he just looks at her like, do you really want to know?
Wisp takes a long swig directly from the bottle, and she'll turn to Lydia, sort of looking her up and down. Whatever you saw really spooked you. Is that word? Spooked?
Yes. It's one that I haven't seen since. And she hesitates. And she looks away from you. Someone I haven't seen since Petri was Peter.
Someone you wanted to see?
No, I mean, we saw him only the once, and we saved him. But then he was taken away to be trained or something.
Taken
We
away by division.
yes, we weren't handlers then. We weren't full agents. We were the cleanup crew. And Peter saved him.
Do you ever stop to wonder what exactly you're cleaning up after?
Yes. All the time.
But you still work for division. I mean, I have to. I don't have anywhere to go. I'm told I don't have many skills, but punching and slicing. But you seem to be what people think of as smart.
Smart enough to keep my mouth shut when I have to. But also
Dumb enough to follow orders.
yeah. Yeah. I I'm sorry, I'm laying like this human crap on you, Wisp. I haven't seen Petri in what feels like 2 days. The chronometer has gone crazy and I don't know where he went.
I can help you find him.
I mean, have you discovered anything new about the cards? We're supposed to be here looking for the deck and how it's supposed to be brought together, or there was like rumors of an auction, some kind of seller that was going to be selling the deck. And
I know why we're here, but I got distracted, you could say. But tell me, when Division sends us on missions like this one, for us, the Omens, we don't get very much information. But they tell you more, don't they? What do you know about this that you haven't said? And I think Wisp puts her hand over Lydia's on the bar in a gesture that looks like from the outside, like, this maybe a gesture of camaraderie,
mhm,
or at very least something that's designed to engender trust. But I
right,
think what she's doing, she's using her emotion amplification power
nice.
to like isolate that little seed of doubt that
Right.
Lydia expressed before about like what she's doing at Division and what it's
Mhm,
all for, and
okay,
just amplifying it, making it grow so that Lydia might be tempted to
sure.
divulge something classified about the mission.
Okay, why don't you unleash the dark in this case? Because it's like you're using your powers to kind of push your will onto Lydia. Some darkness tokens and roll.
Sure.
Mhm.
Give me a second.
Absolutely.
Where are my Docker's tokens? I have 4. I'll spend 2 of them.
Okay, cool.
That is a 9 on the dice, so 11.
On an 11, your control falters and you go too far. Choose one, but I describe an unintended consequence. Please pick one. Unless you want to pull a bond to bring it down.
No, I think I'm okay with going too far here. That's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm choosing between get what you want from them and expose a weakness or flaw.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Get what you want from them. Like, yeah, you wanted to get information about what more she knows that Division did not disclose at the briefing for, for the deck and for why the hell you guys were here.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if as a player
Mhm.
I necessarily want that to happen
Mhm.
or whether I'm more interested in just in perhaps learning something new about how division works, whether it has anything to do with this mission or not.
Okay. Okay.
So maybe I'll choose expose a weakness or flaw and I'll let
Pardon.
you decide what that means.
Okay. Was a weakness or flaw? I think well, tell me how this works per se. When you activate your emotion amplification, I mean, like, is it something that has to be done with touch? Is there kind of like any kind of like outward manifestation of the power? What happens?
I think it doesn't have to be done with touch.
Okay.
I think what happens, I think this is how Wisp got her name. Um, I think she can hear, it's not quite the person's inner monologue. Um, it's more like if your instincts had an inner monologue, like the stream of consciousness sort of like pouring forth this like constant river of concepts, ideas. And with this power, she just sort of dips into it. And for that second that she's like kind of submerged in that person's subconscious, she hears these whispers become screams of like the things that they really feel that they can't say, the things that grow stronger because they're being held inside, festering.
I have to think about this because I can make it really funny or fun. So I'm gonna head over to somebody else, and then I will be totally back with that.
Sounds good?
Absolutely. Okay, so Vivi, are you headed to Archivist, or do you think you were still there when people dropped dead at Red Rock?
I mean, we were heading out. I don't know that Vivi noted. Well, how obvious was it that everyone dropped dead, or was it like further back in the casino?
It was, pardon. It was further back in the casino, I would imagine. Like, you got the phone call, the roulette ball was rolling, and it's like, maybe took a little bit for the roulette ball to finally land where it did. And then,
So I'm happy to say Vivi has not yet realized that a bunch of people have dropped dead and has continued on to Archibus.
okay. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, using your time shifting power, even like, you could even say you fast forwarded yourself over there, if you want.
Sure.
Yeah. And maybe you didn't even wait for the other two. Who knows? But anyway, so when you get to Archibus, I mean, you're basically seeing this angled pyramid. It just kind of gives you the impression of, I don't know, is a pyramid a pleasing shape to you? I mean, like, what do you think when you see this crystal faceted, monolith?
I think Vivi will look at it for a moment and say, "Well, an attempt was made," and say, "That angle is 0.003 degrees off of true. Nonetheless, good to see that
Nonetheless.
humans have some aesthetic sensibilities."
It is basically a huge glass pyramid. It's a modern entertainment park with different sections representing the different games in the series, because Archivist is known as the Assassin's Vow experience. And you see this in like neon neon block letters in within the glass of the casino foyer, and lots of VR, augmented reality. Like, you can literally see. You probably can see through the panels of the building, into the like the laser beams, and like, the whole prismatic setup to kind of create the holographic walls and everything. Um, so everything's got very modernist, sharp edges, silver, white, light blue, and it just shines everywhere. Paint the scene here for Archivist. There are patrons here, normal patrons, like, interested in games. But I mean, how have the patrons changed for the different attractions here? Again, VR, augmented reality. Like, what kind of games are here at Archivist for the Assassin's Vow experience? And how are the players, the patrons of Archivist, dressed, ready for their experience?
I don't
Modern
know that it
entertainment park.
totally fits, but I just have this idea of these patrons going in and wearing a headset and then doing a high dive, but really it's very small, but they're believing it's very hard. But now it's actually a real dive, and the VR headset is not, it's just glass now. They're actually doing the thing. I don't seem to realize that it's no longer an illusion. I don't know if that works.
Or maybe it no longer is an illusion. Maybe it is very, very possible. Different sections representing the different games in the series.
Every patron has their face obscured somehow. Whether that's with the classic masquerade mask, or the Assassin's Creed hood from Assassin's Creed, or just like in one very odd case, a perfectly head-shaped black cube. They're all just walking around and you can't even see their eyes.
I think every patron has a armband or maybe something around their ankle uh, of a different color, because there are dozens, potentially hundreds of parallel games of Assassin running throughout the whole casino. And so people are running around with squirt guns and Nerf guns and collapsible knives trying to take out their target color.
Oh
And
my
it's
god,
just mayhem.
PvP! Holy shit! I'm so sorry. Holy shit, PvP!
Well, PvP, I mean, all casinos are already PvP, but
But damn. Oh my god.
this place
Amazing.
sounds sick.
Mm,
Not gonna lie to you.
I know, I'm just like, what? Holy shit. Oh my god.
Remind me to tell you about the MIT Assassins Guild sometime. Oldest LARP tradition in America.
No, not
Somehow.
surprised. Not surprised at all. Okay.
I think there's a large sort of art installation sort of thing, like an advertisement for the game, really. That's like an item from the game blown up to kind of gargantuan proportion. Um, but it looks exactly like a giant version of Agent Danvers' chronometer. And maybe it's functional, who knows?
Love it. Oh my god. And you see all of this, Vivi. I mean, Eyes obscured, all the patrons running around, people doing the deep dive, literally, and maybe it's like it's bringing them to different, even though this is like, raised up really high, maybe like, it's almost like you see it looks like a virtual pit, but it actually is a pit. And they dive down, doing the parkour thing, and then they're going down to the different levels of Archivist. So, and then I think out of this though, I think as a complete anomaly to all of this action and uh, VR and just chaotic order, if you want to call it that, is Agent Ehrlich. She is looking a little harried. And she keeps looking around at the different people, even though like she cannot see their faces, she cannot see their eyes. And I think she finally spots you because I'm assuming you're still in your human form, obviously, because yeah. And oh, Vivi, oh goodness, I feel like I've been lost here for several days. I lost track of everyone, including you.
Maybe we'll approach and just gently put a hand on Agent Ehrlich's shoulder and say,
Oh, you're real.
time is strange here, and this is very much. Maybe he looks around.
Yes, I haven't seen anything like this, except since, people used to do laser tag all the time. But this is even
possibly
more.
run a laser.
Right. It's just so much more, as you say. But you remember that picture that I had in my office, yes?
Maybe nods.
I saw him here. And that can't be. I saw my husband.
We will sort of look down to the side and go quiet for a moment. And then they'll say, I saw one too. One of someone that cannot be. They were at Red Rock. And it seems like time and reality and everything are flexible here. And I don't know whether it's because that's what I wanted to see or whether it was real.
Did you touch them? Did they touch you? And she's clutching your hand, your physical hand, more tightly.
I couldn't bear to. This way, some part of me can believe it was real, even if it wasn't.
Did you? Well, I know better than to ask. I'm sorry. Usually I'm better put together than this, but things have been quite confusing, and I have not really realized whether things are actually real. And I am very glad to be here, touching you, Vivi, just to know that there's familiarity. Have you seen the others?
I was with Zero and Petri for some time.
I don't see them. Did they come with you?
Yeah, did Zero and Petri come with me?
We went. Zero went to the screaming.
Okay.
I think Patrick followed.
No, they went to deal with another distraction, crisis, never sure. Zero found his Sibling? Relative? Perhaps?
Did he gain all of his memories back?
No. No. And I think, and V smiles, I think maybe he's growing up a little bit. He was so angry and listened and changed and forgave, maybe not, but it was surprising and wonderful in a way.
A breakthrough. That's wonderful. Was Agent Cobb there?
Oh, yes.
You sound...
They, well, I suspect they will have a very long conversation back at headquarters when we resolve. Vivi just gestures around. If we resolve.
That looks like... And she points at the big, the gigantic chronometer. That looks like the chronometer on Agent Danvers' wrist, usually. And it's here, like this. Why does it not look like it's moving forward? Why is it moving back?
Time seems non-linear in this place. You said it has been days, but subjectively, for me, it seems like perhaps hours?
But you can compress time, Vivi.
But I have, well, Vivi laughs. Yes, but normally I am aware of changes that I and Vivi looks at the chronometer and starts having the thought, wait, am I doing this?
I think she can see the look on your face. Are you doing this?
Okay, let's power through darkness. Can Vivi fix time?
Oh boy.
I have no darkness tokens to spend.
Oh no. Wait, have you done anything to your darkest tokens from last
Not.
time?
I used them all in the last session.
I know, but I mean, like, to earn them back. I mean, like, it's not unheard of to do something to earn them just as you're, using them too. So it's very fluid.
Not yet. Nope.
Okay.
9.
Okay. Still square in the sweet spot. On an 8 to 10, you use your powers with great precision and effect, changing the situation before you. Additionally, the keeper may offer you a reprieve, golden opportunity, or a bond with someone. So, tell me what exactly you are doing and how you are doing it.
I think the chronometer is not influencing time, but marking it in this place and moving in a strange pattern. But because it is accurately observing time, Vivi can sort of trace that backwards to the actual flow of time and just is going to take time like a big wobbly jello and attack it to the outside world so it starts following the normal flow of time again. Thumbs up, I guess.
Okay.
And just like while they're doing this, they'll say to Agent Ehrlich, and we know the deck is supposed to be sold 2 nights from now, but I don't think we can wait that long. Oh, there we go. Vivi would like to set time to 2 nights from now.
For sure.
That's how we're going to do this.
Okay.
And also make it so that perceptual time is more normal for people? Because this sounds distressing for a lot of folks.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I think though when you said it though, I think there's something that sounds like a spontaneous alarm and a celebration bell. I forget what the hell they're called. Um, in a game, like, what you would hear in a game. It's like, almost like the pinball has
Sure.
has buzzed or rang, and then, like, the casino has, or excuse me, the slot machine has paid out, like, whatever, like, so whatever celebratory slash alarm sound that you can think of, that's what goes off when you fix the gel of time. And everybody's game starts to go a little haywire, where, like, whatever level that they're at, it almost seems like they're shifting out, and you see a doubling or a tripling of people as they do the PvP, as they're jumping into the pit, as they're, doing the running to their next game. Um, and Agent Ehrlich turns to you, and, like, her face starts to get that doubling, tripling thing, and, you can hear her echoey sounding, saying, "I think you fixed it, Vivi, but it only is for a little bit of time. This is not permanent. It doesn't feel permanent."
No, but we have a chance maybe to get the deck while things are stabilized. We should we should collect the others if we can. And Vivi
That could
can't.
be a problem.
Oh, okay.
You hear from behind you, Vivi.
Vivi will turn. Not easy to sneak up on them, but perhaps they were so focused on time manipulation that they missed whatever this was.
You set off several alarms for the games, sir. Are you planning on reaching the high level of the Assassin's Vow experience?
I plan on retrieving the deck and leaving your guests to experience their levels as they were. You are?
This woman is dressed very tall. Not as tall as Wisp, but tall for a human looking woman. She has, like, dark skin. She has purple hair. I did throw her portrait into the into the POI tab of uh, character keeper, um, associated with Archivist, and she introduces herself, wearing this really beautifully bespoke suit. Um, I'm Hildy Mist, and you are new here. Come with me, if you are so interested in the deck. I might be able to help you.
Maybe you will follow, but take Agent Ehrlich with them.
Yeah. And she will grip your hand as tightly as she can. Just knowing that you are real, and this is a good thing. Yeah. So she looks older than she did before you entered into the reality shifted mess of Vegas. So, all right. You guys over at Red Rock. Yeah. People started screaming because, they were going over to their friends or what have you. They're, like, in clusters and clumps in the lower pavilion of Red Rock. And they are He's dead. What the hell's going on? He just dropped dead. And they're relatively young looking people, or like even like, some oldsters, whatever. But I mean, like, they're like just random people just like dropped in the middle of their clusters of friends. And Prometheus is saying, this shouldn't have happened. Nothing like this has happened before. I don't know what this is about. We should check on them.
How many people are dead? Abouts.
As far as you can tell right now, it looks like about 5 or 6, all like scattered in the lower pavilion.
I have a question about the interpretation of a move.
Okay.
Could it be said that perhaps this location is on the verge of death or decay?
Oh boy. A representation of the mountain that Prometheus is on. It is old.
But is it on the verge of anything, or is it just stuck like this forever?
Well, like, if a lot of people die in a place, you might call it a dead place, right? A dead town, a
I
dead
mean,
village.
listen, I'm here for whatever bullshit like I want this to happen, but I'm not seeing it.
Well, basically,
Is it
I'm
gotta be the
wondering if
place or the environs? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, it's
the move says when a person, object, or location is on the verge of death or decay, you may choose to demand death bargain with you.
okay. So then I bring in the whole Princess Bride argument of like, are they all the way dead or not quite dead? You know what I'm saying? It's like
Well, I would
the
say if
people are
they're
yelling that they're dead, but I mean, it's just happened. So
well, if they're even if they're dead, then they're on the verge of decay.
stuff has got to like, yeah, sure. Let's
Looking
play
for
this out
excuses
because
to mark ruin. What?
you just like to. I'm
You
telling
need
you, I just.
5 whole ruin before you
Can.
can end the world again.
Oh my god, I can't wait. It'll be great.
You're losing the race.
Well, I don't know about that. It looks like I've just lapped you all.
Hey, just like what the hell?
I've
Oh
taken
dear.
more rune advances than all of you combined.
Oh man.
I don't even think I've taken one. I started with one. I don't think I've hit 5 ruin.
Better
Yeah,
start
with
doing
Vivi,
I'm
we'll fix that.
it. I'm here for it.
I'm wondering if I can reach out to death and try and fix this situation.
Zerus grabs his own hand.
Well,
um.
yeah, kind of.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a cacophony. I mean, like, people are like, shouting like, he's dead, she's dead, whatever, and then maybe the slot machines are still going for the people that haven't stopped. And it's a bit of a cacophony until it's not. And you call upon this move. What exactly are you saying to activate this?
Well, I am marking 2 ruins. So what that says is that I shatter a part of my undying soul. The shard will imbue the person, object, or location instead. And I think we see Zero looking around at all these people, and he can feel the death here in a way that he wasn't expecting. And I think there's like a shiver, a shudder, a bit of static as he seems to almost come apart. There's 2 of him where there used to be 1. And that second one of him is both next to him and next to all of these people at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Zero's just going to be staring at them kind of uh, blank faced and saying, "No, we can fix this. We can fix this. We can undo it. They don't have to die. We can do it. It's up to us. That's our thing, right?"
Is death sorry, is death speaking to you, or like just a shade um you know, that is unable to act and touch them without you expressly saying so?
That he is telling Death that this could be an opportunity instead of just letting it happen. This could be useful in the future.
I think the question that you hear in your mind is, holding them in limbo is supposed to be helpful?
He'll owe us. They'll all owe us.
Will you bring about life and death all at once, very soon?
Let's find out.
Okay. All right. So you're basically holding all these people in stasis, so they're not really dying. They're more in a coma state. Is that what I'm given to understand?
Interesting. I think coma might be generous. They might be not dead,
Okay.
but not necessarily alive.
Okay. Are they undead? Is that what
Did
we're
you
doing
just
here?
raise a zombie
Oh my
army?
god!
Did you just bargain for a zombie army?
I think maybe zombie might be a derogatory
Philosophical
term.
zombie.
No, I think they just maybe don't have heartbeats and might start falling apart in a couple of days, weeks.
Tell me
Well,
what's
no, he holds back decay. So they just may be,
They might unlive forever.
yes, Dracula's without the drawbacks.
Oh my god.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
what you just created is about how many people would you say this is? 6, you said?
yeah.
Yeah.
You've just created a half dozen saints of you whatever
Ooh.
faith you currently
Well, see,
are.
that does sound useful.
Well, at any rate, I mean, like, maybe like all 6 of them, like, simultaneously will sit up from in between like all the crowd like staring on them, or like trying to do CPR on them or whatever. And it's like they all sit upright, and then almost as one, they will turn their heads and look at you, Zero.
I think Zero kind of he looks down at his chest and he kind of rubs it a little bit, and then he turns uh to Prometheus. And Prometheus is there and says, I fixed it.
Oh, why'd you do that?
To what? What are they?
They're not dead. That's
Yes,
what's
but
important, right?
yes, but they are not quite human either.
So,
They died. Hades is going to be pissed.
Mhm.
yeah, well, good.
Did he hear about most of these things? I feel like he's got competition.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he does.
Iterations, as always. Myth and
Okay.
legend. What?
I've seen death before. Honestly, if it was like a guy with human hands, that would be a relief.
And Prometheus just turns to you again, Zero, and says, "You do keep strange company."
Yeah, I know.
I will. I will offer them. I will offer them whatever they desire, just to see if I can stave off any further questions. Party for all, yes? And he will go and make his way to each of the groups and then just, you know, be pleasant and kind of bluster his way through, offering them, like, free, like, buffet passes or whatever, like, the heck that, just to kind of, like, take the surprise off. And just the those recently risen, oh my god, they look at you. They keep looking at you, Zero. While you are there, they will continually follow your every move.
Oh, I think Zero will turn to Petri and say, maybe we should go.
And leave your people?
They're
You're
just
risen?
people.
You're chosen? You're
No,
really
they.
going to send them out into the world like this without purpose?
Yeah. I mean, what? I can't. They weren't supposed to die, right? Like, they just died because Vivi picked up the phone.
Because
That's not
you
fair.
wouldn't let them.
And I didn't let them. I fixed it. Once again, I'm the only one actually fixing things here.
And Cobb will. I can't remember what happened to Cobb last time. I apologize. But yes, Cobb comes, like, rushing down the stairs and realizes what had happened. And you see him murmur something, but you don't quite catch it. But maybe Petri, it's like, with your shape-shifting abilities, maybe you do hear something on a different ear that you grow, and it sounds something like, "Shit, it's starting again." And he tries to stay as calm as possible and walks over.
Hello, Agent Cobb. I
"Hello,
believe last time we
Petri,"
spoke, I gave you an ultimatum.
which
I
was,
hope that our surroundings, the company we're in, such as it is, have demonstrated the stakes.
"Remind me, my memory's a bit faulty."
Oh, I forgive you. Time is very strange in here. It can be difficult to keep things straight. I told you to tell Zero what you know.
He snorts.
Maybe
"Fine.
we don't do this now. We have other things to do. We have cards to find. I don't know where Vivi is. Maybe just.
Why are you laughing?"
Oh no, I just think it's funny. Not important. Just don't worry about it. Zero's right. We should find Vivi.
I think at this point, this is where you see, it's almost like that, what is it? Not, yeah, like kind of like a sonic boom, like a sonic boom, like shimmer or vibration that kind of goes through from the square, and it kind of blasts through all of you, and will make Cobb go stock still for a second, and then you start seeing some weird doubling and tripling of his image as he's standing there, and then you know, I think you two, Zero and Petri, I think you can figure out that it came from Archibus.
That was Vivi. Or Wisp. Probably Vivi.
Would you like to go or should I?
Yeah, okay, whatever. He's gonna go mostly to get away from Cobb.
Yeah, he's still kind of stuck in that weird doubling, tripling action, so he hasn't quite moved yet.
That's
Watching
the best
you,
opportunity.
Agent. And Petri will stride off towards Wolf Towers.
Okay, so let me just go over that move, that particular move again for Unleash the Dark. You expose a weakness or flaw. That's the choice that you made, I believe, Wisp. And then an unintended consequence. I think what you hear when you have, when you dive deep and you're listening to Lydia's surface thoughts going deep into her consciousness and subconsciousness and just peeling away all the layers. Was the question specifically about her or division? What has she not said?
I think what Wisp is looking for is knowledge that she has about division that
Mhm.
she hasn't told. Um, as a player, though, if you want to give me something about Lydia herself, I am fine with that.
Right. I can give you both. The surface thoughts are pretty clear. You can hear worried voices from what sounds like a younger Lydia talking to a Petri that sounds different. She refers to them as Peter, specifically Peter. And they're talking about this person, creature that they had met. And it goes deeper where you can start to see pictures through, her thoughts and her emotions. And it's a jumble of caring and worry, but then duty and ambition. And then you dive a little bit deeper, and there's something screaming at you from this consciousness. It's not necessarily totally within Lydia. It's more like something is connected to her in this moment that you're amplifying her emotions. And it sends you into a strange spiral where you are no longer in your own body. And you are in someone shorter, smaller, possibly more human. And you are in front of this person who turns to look at you. This person is tall and slender and wearing what looks like robes of weird shades of purple, like mauve and puce, draped over them in like strange patterns. And this person turns to you and doesn't look quite human themselves. A bit alien, bald head, slits for nostrils, eyes that are too wide in their head, and seems feminine, but you're not sure. And they turn to you and say, "Welcome. It's wonderful to see you here. I was wondering when you were going to come and see me. Would you like to take a seat?" And funny thing is, when you're listening to this person talk to you, you realize that they're not talking to what seems like Lydia. They're talking to you, Wisp,
Mm-hmm.
because they beckon you forward to sit in a chair made for you, and they offer on a little table a, it's bigger than 2 liter. It's like one of those big Bob barrel sized uh, mugs, and um, in it you can sort of see, as you approach, a very fizzy container full of Sprite, and on this table is a pile of Old Faithfuls. Come, sit with me. You've come a long way.
I think Wisp's hackles immediately go up. Like anytime someone's trying to give her something for free, something she doesn't have to put up a fight for, she's going to be suspicious. Um, so she is wary, but she does come closer and she does sit. Who are you? What is this?
This can be the first of many meetings. I have met a few like you who have reached out and met me, sought me, found me, and made their decision as things have been happening, especially with that which you know as division, yes?
I don't do puzzles and I don't do subtlety. Who are you?
You can call me Shashenka. I awaken potential. I help bring sleeping gods to life.
Well, then you have nothing for me. I'm no
Don't
god.
I? You have a prophecy about you, don't you?
I think I have. Oh, I do have a move. Yes. I have a move for when I first encounter a named NPC.
Mhm,
I can declare that they have intimate ties with division. It seems like they've kind of already hinted at that,
mhm.
whether they're on division side or not. Um, when I do so, spend darkness tokens and roll. The keeper will tell you something significant and valuable, even on a miss.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm spending 2. That's another 11.
What's the ah boy. Is there a provision for the going over above and
There
beyond?
is.
Okay.
So on an 11 or higher, they are dangerous to you or to division. The keepers will say which, and then I get to choose that either I'm drawn to them regardless of the danger, and
Mhm,
gain a bond with them, or
mhm.
they stir the harbinger within me and I mark a ruin.
Either one works because she bears teeth that resemble a shark's, because there is a row upon row of teeth when she smiles and is very wide. And she says, "You do not have to tell me. I know. You have questions, and I can help you find the answers or provide them however you wish. But just know that division stands in your way. You are still asleep, lovely one. I can help you wake and be free of division's control. You have already begun your mission. You incite revolution. You bring on doubt for those that have stayed loyal for so long they don't even remember why they are loyal. You are doing good work.
I'm not doing it for you.
No, of course not. You are doing it for you, just as your companions are. They will awaken as well, in their own way, and their own time. Time.
I think Wisp's teeth are also sort of bared as she speaks. Um, they too have a sharpness. And she's like kind of leaning closer and closer to say their name again?
Shashenka.
Shashanka. Like against her own wishes, against her own volition almost. Like she's being seduced by this framing of things, right? This framing of Wisp as a revolutionary, someone who is doing something that's going to matter, that's very seductive to her. I don't like to talk around things. If you have answers, I need them. If you're going to wake me up, then fucking do it.
So what was the second part? Like, so not the bond, but the other thing. What was that?
So I am gonna mark a ruin.
Okay.
The Harbinger's going to stir within within Wisp for sure.
Okay.
Um,
What does that look like when the Harbinger stirs? In her presence, and, like, what does she see?
I think I know what it looks like.
Okay.
I think Wisp has stood again, and she has the sword that she took from Glint's unconscious body. Um, that's like this gleaming sword, like made entirely of light, basically, that seems to be responding to Wisp's emotions, to like whatever is stirring within her, and glows brighter by the second. And Wisp has slowly like taken it out of its sheath and sort of is pointing it at Shashanka's throat. And perhaps to Shashanka it feels like an empty gesture, but like Wisp feels the power in this weapon, the power in her own body. Like she knows that if she wants to, she could destroy. She kind of wants to. Even if it means that she doesn't get the answers. She's so hyper aware at this moment of how good it would feel.
What do you do? Do you do it? Or do you hold fast?
She'll give them a second, but just a second to say what they have to say.
It has already begun. Even now, all of your companions are hurtling towards awakening. Feed the violence. Feed your hunger for this power. You can taste it. You can feel it. Consume it. And those teeth are very close, and the tip of that light sword is right on her throat as she gets closer. What do you do?
Wisp grits her teeth, and the sword plunges into Shashanka's throat. And
And God.
I imagine that if Shashanka bleeds, if Shashanka is like physical at all in this strange realm, then like as the blood, which I imagine would be like strange in some way, maybe it's this like kind of glittering black void blood, as it sprays onto Wisp, her mouth is open in this snarl, and she's like literally consuming it, looking more monster than she ever has. Her gold eyes burning like flames.
Indeed, as your light sword pierces into the throat, the glittering black void of her blood splashes onto you like viscous catarrh, and it sticks to you as you consume some of it. And I think in that stickiness of it, I think you're also going to see a memory. You're going to see a memory of Shashanka as Lydia, wearing Lydia, has gone deeper into division, into the music room. And you're going to see Lydia's hands reach into the piano, into the vibrating space, and grab Vivi's book. And then you shudder back to yourself with your hand on top of Lydia's hand. Back at Wolf Towers, back in the bar.
If it's okay, so I think it's interesting and perhaps could be dramatic, as it
Mm-hmm.
sounded like Petri was on their way.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Wisp has the sword out in reality and is holding it to Lydia's throat when she comes back to herself.
Yeah.
Would Petri know about this sword at all? Do I remember this?
I don't think you would ever have seen the sword before because Wisp
Okay,
just got
cool.
it like 2 sessions ago and hasn't seen a Petri since. Yeah.
Right. Because
Okay,
remember,
cool.
Petri went on the
Yeah,
ride,
no,
went on the train.
I just couldn't for the life of me remember if that's like a thing that you were calling back to or if that 2 sessions ago. Yeah, you know? Yeah, I think what Petra will do in this case is go to Lydia.
I mean, she sees the sword at her throat, and she's like gasping and sweating. Like the human she is like, Wisp, what are you doing? Wisp!
Yeah.
Petri? What is she
Um,
doing?
Impossible to say. Have you ever seen that before? The sword?
Are you asking Lydia?
Yes.
No. No. It's new.
Petri will like wave a hand in front of Wisp's eyes. No response?
No, I think you see the focus come back to Wisp's eyes. And the surprise as she realizes what she's doing, and also that you're here now.
Hello.
It's like there's no time for her between when she started talking to Lydia and when you arrived.
Where were you? And what's this?
I I don't know. Lydia? She says with a question mark.
Yes?
We should finish this talk another time.
Okay. I was I was going to answer you, but all of a sudden the sword went at my throat. I
You weren't threatening her. I can tell, or she'd be dead. Well, not dead, but what happened? Still nothing?
can you
I I think I should go.
Hmm.
Wisp wait.
What?
It's an experiment. This whole thing. It's an experiment. The deck is real. You were all sent here to find out about the nature of the deck, yes. But we were told that it was an experiment to see who would succumb to the deck, be a part of it, buy it, whatever.
Who would succumb to the deck? Do you mean us?
Yes. But also us, as in your handlers, agents. We put ourselves in closer proximity to the omens, not only to keep them grounded, and she's trying very hard not to look at Petri, and also to glean information for Division's records.
So it's just another way to control us.
Yes, all of us. I know you don't count us, the handlers, necessarily in that equation, and I get it. But I feel like I don't think I am working for Division the way they want me to work for Division anymore.
I'm going to take 4 darkness tokens for despairing. But I think Wisp is like, her eyes are darting between Lydia and Petri, trying to read how Petri is responding to this.
Petri, oh, excuse me, sorry.
Wait a
Lydia's.
moment. Lydia, are you telling me that if one of us gets the deck, the world won't end?
Depends on what you do with the deck.
No, but Division wouldn't let us have it if it would just like that.
Unless
Who knows
The
right now?
right. Unless the reason why Vegas, or this part of Vegas, is locked down is because we are in the experiment bubble. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
What happens if the deck leaves Vegas?
I guess the reality and time shifting spreads. It's not going to stay here if it gets moved. And I really think the bean counters are depending on you all to stick by the numbers, but I think it's foolish for them to expect that you're not going to break out of their parameters. I would.
I think it's time we wake the bean counters up.
I agree. Let's go find Zero and Vivi. I have an idea.
I think Zero's going to just peek out from behind you and say, "Yeah, I came with you. Hey, Wisp. Hey, Lydia."
Hi. Oh, Zero.
Where did you get there?
Like the whole time we came here together.
It's surprising, Vivi. I love it. Lydia actually laughs because that's the first time she's seen Petri look bemused in a very, very long time.
Were you... I think there might be something supernatural about this. I'm not just being impolite when I don't think of you.
Sure.
Where's Vivi?
Where's Cobb? Where's Agent Cobb?
What happened to your friends?
Friends?
Zero, where are they?
Friends.
Back at the Red Rock, I guess. They didn't follow us. Or did they?
Did they?
Did they?
I don't think they did. Um, there's still a lot of debris outside. I mean, like, they're obviously not going to move as fast as Zero or Vivi or anything like that. So, space time, who
Fine.
cares? Doesn't matter. And yes, it is still Vegas. So, okay. So, Petri Zero's here. Okay, great. Cobb may still be over at the Red Rock. We'll see. But let's for funsies' sake, let's head over to Vivi for half a mo. Vivi,
I'm
you
busy Googling how many beans are there in the world for maximum clipping from Vivi.
Are you trying to stack overflow the division bean counters?
Oh my god. Too damn funny.
Uh,
Okay,
anyway,
so
sorry.
yeah, no, it's fine. You've got Agent Ehrlich like holding on to her, and she's following, and you both are following Hildy Mist. So she's taking you through the corridors of this particular casino, and you start to notice like down these hallways, which are not electrified. What am I trying to say? Like kind of like some like LED, strips.
They're gamer hallways.
I'm sorry.
They're gamer hallways.
They're gamer hallways. Yeah.
GB hallway.
Yeah. But there's like different themes. Like through the lighting, you can see that there's different themes based on the different games for Assassin's Vow. Like you see what looks like Istanbul and Viking themed areas, Venice, Paris, London, Rome, and even like pirate lands for some weird reason, like who knows. And 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 she's taking you through all these areas, and as she's going through, like, she's directing certain people, and they're giving her like, high deference as if she like works here, but she doesn't have any kind of badges or anything like that, and like she's dressed more normally than any of the people that are playing here. Like, again, she's in a very like well tailored suit, um and the only thing really flamboyant about her is like the fact that her hair is a brilliant shade of violet, long hair like kind of cascading down her back. And she kind of turns back to you over her shoulder as she's walking ahead, and she says, "Do you play?"
In general?
Assassin's Vow. Have you played the VR before?
Oh, no. I'm not sure that it would work on me.
She looks at you like up and down. It's like, do you have an issue with vision or any physical problems?
And Vivi starts to explain and then looks at Agent Ehrlich and just says, I don't know that we have time for that.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I get caught up in the game. It lives here. It breathes here. So, I understand your urgency. That's fine.
What do you feed it?
Don't you sense it? The energy here. All this life. All these people involved in this game, living in these worlds. They are recreating their own. Oh, how to explain? And she gets this fervent look in her eye as she kind of pauses and turns back to you, Vivi, at the question.
The observation makes it real.
Yes. And she kind of murmurs, like, without looking at you, kind of like in the distance. And when they battle and they feel the fever pitch of the song of war, and they succeed, but then they die gloriously, they will reach Valhalla, and I can harvest all of their energy and their souls, because it is all around us, and it is beautiful, and it is overwhelming, and it is delicious. And Agent Ehrlich kind of grips your hands as she's listening to this, Vivi, and just kind of gives you a look of,
So do you seek the deck to reinforce this consensus of reality?
without answering you, she will move forward, and the LED hallways like lead to a narrow passage, which is dark because you don't see any lighting here. And then she seems to hit something on the wall, or you hear her hit something on the wall, and then a hum comes to life, and then you get this strange, not LED, but a strange outline of what looks like gnarled bark on the walls, leading upward. And you didn't think it went that high, but it does in this uh, pyramid of archivist. And the tree, which it is, seems to reach up and outward, as if it's growing into the ceiling of this place, holding it up per se. And it should not be possible, because it looks like it's glass and crystal from the outside. But that's what you see. And
We will just say to Agent Ehrlich, sometimes I wish Petri was here, because presumably he would tell me some strange parable about how all of these realities can simultaneously coexist. And I mean, yes, this is a human myth, yes, and so was the Red Rock. They can't both be true.
why
And Petri would
can't it
say,
be?
but they're all true.
And Hildy will speak up, hearing you, and say, why can't it be true? This is a world tree. And against the backdrop of the gnarled branches, it almost seems like the light is giving her a different texture, a different silhouette. And for a moment, Vivi, I think you see armor instead of a suit. And you see wings instead of her hair. And Agent Ehrlich from behind you is saying, Vivi, do you see that? She's more than. And Agent Ehrlich will speak up and say, does this mean we're dead?
Good question.
And Hildy just kind of laughs and will say, not yet. Ask yourself, why do you seek the deck? Vivi, you said your name was?
It's a acceptable approximation.
Why? Why do you seek this deck?
Because I am so powerful and yet so helpless in the face of memory. I wish to remake, to undo, to change what came before.
And supposedly with the deck, 9 realms can be recreated, and many more as needed as we repopulate the different worlds with the concepts of the deck. Or so has been told. So has been said. You seek to recreate a world, do you?
It was in the world.
And I have a question for you then. What deems them worthy to be bringing them back? Why not go beyond life and be in paradise? What makes them worthy to come back to this reality?
Paradise. He laughs. How utterly boring.
Yes, we need conflict. We need steel and war to make us stronger.
Not necessarily, but what is music without dissonance? What is a pattern without direction? Paradise seems an eternal single note. I simply seek to restore what was lost, not to create a new, different prison.
Do you have free will? Are you allowed to choose?
And Vivi looks at Agent Ehrlich.
I would have said days ago that we did. But I saw my dead husband here days ago. And I don't know what's real. And Hildy will smile and say, it's all real. Past, present, even future, if you can imagine it, lives all here, in all the branches, in all the worlds. And the deck supposedly can help us do it. You moved time, Vivi. The system sensed it. It's like resetting the game clock. You reset it and advanced some of the players that could have been on the verge of Valhalla, and also reset some of the players that should not be this high just yet. Can't help it, I suppose. We are at the eve of the auction. It's going to happen tonight. Question is, are you here for it? To be the buyer? Or are you here to be part of it? We all fear that we will be asked to join the deck.
Thus, the question about free will.
Yes.
If you will smile, I am confident in my own fortitude, my own willpower. How about you?
I am only sure of my loyalty and my duty. That's all I can be grounded in. I think I think it will keep me safe enough from the deck. Perhaps I am here like you, to buy it, to gain its power.
Can I grasp keys here to see if I can figure out whether she is already part of the deck or whether she is connected to it in some way strongly? Like, can I get a hint
Yeah.
or some sign from them? But
Yeah, search for a clue, investigate signs of the apocalypse, or use your powers of darkness to gather information. Describe how you're doing so and spend darkness tokens and roll.
I think, yeah, with what we know about the deck, and now with sort of the question about whether we are either part of it or whether we are going to buy it, Vivi's going to do what they do best and look for patterns. See if they can slot Hildy Mist into a space that would be part of the deck.
Okay. And don't forget, you still have a
yeah
key that you can.
And moreover,
Mm-hmm.
if perhaps they would share a similar role as Vivi, well, maybe Vivi can just shove them into the spot and have them take their place, and then be free of that risk.
Okay.
Need someone for judgment? Oh, look, there you go. Shove.
What do we get?
And
10. Sweet. All right. With a 10, you uncover a key. Keeper will tell you what it is. No consequence. Brilliant. All right, so let's see. Your specific question was what now?
it was sorry, is I'm gonna lose her name every time. Hildy Mist
Mm-hmm.
already become part of the deck, or can I make her take one of the roles? I'm not sure that's a great question for generic key, but it's yeah.
Yeah. No, I get you. I mean, there's a perfect one for her, but the problem is, it's like I can't. I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, sure, I'll split it in here. Are you moving time, or like what are you manipulating right now for your grasping
I'm
keys?
just observing her on as many levels of reality as I can see
Ah, gotcha.
in this
All right,
place.
that I can do. That I can figure out. Okay, so I think as she's backdropped by the glow of Yggdrasil, which is what this gnarled tree thing is, um, I think you do start seeing branching off, like you know how. Well, I think you missed that effect. Sorry, the doubling, tripling effect of time shifts. You can see multiple realities all at once. Um, and so you see her in her suit in one uh, holographic interpretation, and then the other one is where you do see her in full armor with wings, and then another one is where you see her in some kind of ceremonial robe. And this is the one that stands out more because this one seems more real. And what it is her in ceremonial robes with her violet hair like piled up on her head in an elaborate braided do, and she is holding in both hands what looks like an ancient spear, and the spearhead is coated in fresh, dripping blood. So you can shorthand that into the keys as an ancient spearhead with fresh blood.
Sure.
But yes, that is the vision you see. More real than who stands before you right now.
And I think at that, Vivi will just smile and say, well, guess we will soon discover who's already in its grip and who has control. I'm sure it will be most interesting.
I'm sure it will be. What grounds you, Vivi?
Agony.
Feelings like that could possibly even tear you from reality. It can tear you to shreds. Don't fall for what many warriors have fallen to.
What is that?
Pain. They have fallen to their own pain. And with that...
Vivi has feelings about that, but they're not going to say it to a random Valkyrie.
Right. All right. So for like in the interest of time, because it's like I want to leave time to see, do you guys want to have more scenes, or do you want to try and figure out this whole tying in of the facets you have and the keys that you have? There be a plenty. So
Well, here's the problem is I have a whole theory that just is not based at all on the stuff it's supposed to be based on now.
Maybe we could
Can we?
bend some
Yeah.
well, okay,
and we
hold on.
shush what we got to make it work.
Oops. Why'd I do that?
I almost like. See, I could make my plan involve the deck. I could also make my plan, which is basically just doing what Vivi said that one time and monstrously fusing Zero and Petri to bring back the pattern dancers in here. You'd probably have to bargain with one of Division's world trees to do it, but eh. And like not even care about the mystery. Break the game by breaking the game.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, like, you know me. I'm always in service of the story, but I don't want to break the game too hard. I mean, like, otherwise I can't claim we're playing Apocalypse Keys. Um,
Hey, the deck changes reality, right?
We're
oh yeah,
playing
right. Okay.
Vegas.
We're meta-ing this thing, aren't we?
We're
I
just
don't know what you
reshuffling the
expected.
keys.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh,
You've already taken out the apocalypse.
have I though? Have I? I don't know yet. I don't know that yet. Um,
Asking the question means the game has changed.
hmm, what was this? Did somebody want to put in that ancient spearhead clue in there, or do you need me to do it? That's fine.
I'll do it.
Okay. Fresh blood. I'm gonna make it tick because this is so fitting. This next tick is absolutely delicious. Keep using that like food, but I had dinner. So anyway, so as you're thinking about this, the world freezes for a moment. Everyone you see turns flat and two-dimensional, becoming like standing card images. Then there's a flurry as the cards fly together and are redealt, changing people's places and roles as they take on new identities. But now there are fewer people than there were before. So how that manifests, of course, is where it seems that there are screams for a different reason in different casinos or out in the square, as people look like they've been shifted and they are no longer there or here in this reality, as if now that the deck is getting ready to be auctioned, the deck is now collecting. So, Vivi, key that you want to put in, that's fine. But the other keys are person hears a sound no one else can hear, obvious counterfeit money cut and pasted from various currencies, money belt with an unusual coin inside, an image carved into an unusual surface, a discarded wallet filled with pictures, something burned precisely by an absurdly high temperature, a ticket stub to a non-existent theme event, coins in a fountain have fallen into the shape of an arrow, and an ancient spearhead dripping with fresh blood.
Yeah, let's see what we can make of this. And then
There's essentially 10 keys once, Vivi puts a thumb on the
Cool.
scale. So out of complexity 8, I mean, conceivably, if you can put them all together, you can roll with a +2, or just use, up to 8.
While we're
Or,
here, can I
or
just
go halvesies.
can I just get all of this out of me on recording?
Sure, go for it.
All right, let me. Okay, so Division sent us to Vegas as a test. We know this. Division has made Vegas a pocket reality through one of their world trees that they have. The deck is a real MacGuffin that allowed them to control to some extent what this world looked like. I don't know what they want out of it though. There's also a lot to be said for uh, a Valkyrie, Prometheus, Hypnos, and just straight up a portal to the Fey realm being here. Also, while I'm talking, Vivi's Apocalypse is the only one that we can bring safely because it's the only one that only involves one reality.
I mean, I like it in a general sense, but yeah, I mean,
What is
Now
what
that
is
I've said it out loud, it isn't exactly a solution to the mystery.
Mm. It's just
I
like
do
a kind
like
of
it
like a
though.
branching off theory. Yeah.
No, it's neat. It's merely me putting pieces together.
Yeah.
What does Division want? That was always an interesting question because, like, what do they ever want? They're so weird.
Who knows? I mean, they're the classic shady government organization, which may or may not even be part of a government.
May or may not even be shady.
Oh, and also, what was the lady in Lydia's mind's name?
Shashanka.
Shashanka.
Shenka. Is she the moth? Is she the thing that's been hounding Zero? Who's to say? I don't think she's involved in this mystery though. Is my contention. I think she's just along for the ride like the rest of us.
Oh, I was gonna say I think she's the hunter.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
Tell me
Ah.
on it.
I mean, I don't have a fully formed idea, but the thought that she has been either appearing as Lydia or like somehow using Lydia's body, and is apparently like just hanging out inside Lydia's head,
And has
um,
been for a while.
and has been for a
Since
while,
like session 2.
Yeah, that's
um,
good.
and seems to be trying to push, like, okay, I guess the theory is sort of contingent on what Lydia said about this being a test not being entirely true and maybe being a manipulation by Shashanka,
Mm.
trying
Oh.
to push the Omens into doing
Ooh.
something really foolish,
Hmm.
which it seems like they absolutely will take the bait. Uh,
They've been taking the bait for how long now? God. Sorry. Keep going.
no, that's like basically what I have, but I think there could be
No, I
something
like that a
interesting
lot.
there.
Yeah, like that too.
That's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
So true.
I mean, they do send us here because we're expendable, allegedly.
Since we're supposed to be using clues for this or keys, whatever they're called. Um,
Try, you know.
maybe the ancient spearhead dripping with fresh blood could be, if we're saying that, if we do go the route that Shashanka is the harbinger, maybe that can be a key that um is a is tied to her and her identity, or like her motives at least. Maybe there's whatever her goal is, she's been working at it for a long time. It's this like axe that she's been grinding against division for however long. And the ancient spearhead dripping with fresh blood is sort of symbolic of that like ancient conflict and like new motivation to see it complete.
I mean, and you also remember to, if we're playing the game, like, remember to use the facets to help hone in on the, like, funneling in the keys into the facets to help you, you know, go towards a resolution of um, preventing the harbinger for coming through, or like, you know, going with their plan with the deck or what have you. But yeah, you have those facets for a reason.
Oh yeah, to be clear, I'm saying that if we go that route, maybe we would tie that clue, that key, sorry, to the harbinger facet.
Okay,
But I'm not going to move it over there unless we like decide to go down this road.
right,
Right.
makes sense.
So, like, I'm reading about Chernobog. Uh, he wasn't cool, like in myth. He was the
Well, we
bad
don't
guy.
have any myths for him. We have a hill in the Czech Republic and a monk saying that allegedly pagans were drinking out of skulls for him.
I mean, that doesn't bode
I don't
well.
trust monks in this
Yeah.
specific case, especially when there's one.
Okay, but like, then I mean, that's that's kind of the general kind of idea of Chernobog, though, that it's not a good, like, a Chernobog's deck probably isn't happy endings for everybody, is what I'm saying. So I think the Bloody Spear works well.
I'm just looking at these clues, and and this is going to be throwing it back at Ben. A lot of these feel really dreamlike, right? Like the obviously counterfeit money from all these different sources, and the sounds that no one else can hear, and the wallet filled with like just filled with pictures. Like those just all feel very like things you might find in a dream.
Or different realities that are filtering through.
Conceivably, you could also reinterpret said clues or keys if you want to think of dream like alternate reality. How would you interpret like the image carved into an unusual surface or a
Dreamlands?
discarded?
Can we do Dreamlands, guys? Dreamlands? Can we make
What?
Dreamlands canon?
I don't know what you mean.
Like a dream world? Like the
Isn't that your
Dreamlands.
whole deal? Isn't
Yeah,
making
Well,
things
not
from dreams real your whole thing?
hypnosis sleep.
yes.
Well, like a third, easily, it's definitely a thing you can do.
Mm, you can make it a
Yeah.
thing.
I actually really enjoy the way we've sort of been playing around with what Zero is precisely capable of.
For a hot second, he was the god of symmetry. It was great. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're unformed
But
in a
anyway,
way that feels cosmologically and character significant.
but also too, I mean, like, you've got the one facet that says reality warping casinos.
Mm.
So the casinos were warped themselves into different realities, or being in the casinos warps reality because of this gap, rift, door, door power, created by the deck, maybe, So you can interpret it that way. But I mean, I do like I do like the idea of reinterpreting the keys to work with the alternate realities that you're currently in, which could also include dream. So get creative.
So there's 4 casinos.
Yes.
Random, unrelated spitballing, but you can roughly divide tarot suits into 4. That's why we have the 4 like normal deck of card suits. So is each casino a collection of are the casinos themselves the deck?
I mean, I think we need to. I
I
can't
mean, you've
believe
already
I'm
got a
I
suit in
can't
Red
believe I'm
Rock, which is
saying this.
chains. So, if you want to consider it that way.
But we've been playing around with the idea that the like major players in this mystery are embodying specific cards,
Mm-hmm.
and the casinos themselves are like part of that in a sort of like they're facilitating that.
Yeah.
Don't know how to assign that. I don't know how to like put a face we can punch on that, if that makes sense. You
Oh,
know?
was there a specific face you were punching like for the other mysteries? I don't
I
remember
mean,
now.
There
yeah.
were
Yeah.
there were
That's
throats
what a
that Zero
harbinger
was cutting.
is.
Mm, mm, mm. But a force behind them too. So,
Sure.
yeah. And it doesn't have to be just one. Maybe it's a combination. Are you fighting the deck or are you fighting whomever's going to be auctioning or selling the deck? Yeah? So,
Sure. I mean, I guess like Elle is right. So is Shauna or whatever her name is.
Okay.
Sashenka.
Shashanka.
Who? Yeah.
Oh, and again, just to be reminded, like those spaces underneath each of the keys, or I mean the facets, like that's not like the only amount of spaces that you have. So as long as one facet is attached to at least one key. I mean, like, at least one key is attached to each facet, you're fine. Yeah, that's what I meant. But, I mean, like, if you have 5 clues going into reality warping casinos, then obviously just kind of squish them all in there, because the way this was formed was not, didn't allow for extra spacing.
Okay.
Okay.
So the ticket stub to the
I
non-existent.
can plug at least one into the Chernobog deck.
Okay.
Go for it.
I think obviously counterfeit money copy and pasted from various currencies. It was here.
Okay.
Why is that?
Because it is a microcosm of what it is doing to reality.
Ooh.
We have minted false worlds.
Okay, that's
Nice.
What if the ticket stub to a non-existent theme event, the event is the door of power opening?
Sure, the auction.
Nice.
That's
It's a non-existent event. If we count auction as a theme, I mean, we're kind of running with a currency.
I mean, casinos.
I mean, yeah, but like a lot of these clues are money, so I like the idea of auction being the theme of the theme event.
Mm.
So that's our door.
Okay, so ticket stub. Yep.
If we need, if we want Shashenka as a harbinger, I kind of, if we do that, I kind of would be very much okay with like a temporary reprieve if we succeed, because it was really neat. I don't know, I think it's neat to have that sort of through line. So I only kind of want to put them as a harbinger if we're not gonna dump them out of the storyline at this point.
So Shanka's too cool to just like be a villain of the week.
Yeah.
Oh no,
this is the problem.
She's not. I'm just gonna meta tell you right now. She's sticking in this story beyond this mystery. So no worries.
Are you telling me you have plans in a PBTA game? That's illegal.
Excuse me, it's like I had plans in like my car from Brindlewood game, and like how much prep do I do for that? Not much, but I do a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that in my soul.
In which case I can offer the key from Vivi's dream protocol as being a strange moth entity that possesses someone, or like something that refers to that, so we can directly pull them in.
Okay.
So are we saying Shashenka's moth?
Are we not?
Are we coming down with that?
Is that what we're? Because if we're going with that, I'm really interested in seeing Mr. Geyer make another appearance.
Yeah, I mean that we've bound him. We've accidentally made him more important too.
Well, I'll leave it then for now. We can decide if we want that.
I like it.
I mean, it's
about time
your key.
She actually showed up.
Yeah, it's your key to
I know.
Put in. So
I'm just let's writers room this rather than me being like, we're doing this thing.
Yeah. Even though that's kind of what I've been doing this whole time.
No, I think that's cool though, and it makes sense given that we know that Shashenka has been operating in the background unbeknownst to us. It makes sense that like she would be tied to this omen that we've been seeing.
Yeah, especially because this whole world is so tied to us specifically. Which would make the wallet filled with discarded pictures a harbinger clue?
What were I remember Petri finding the wallet, but what were the pictures of? Did we
It was all pictures of Peter. Which points to Lydia, which points to Lashana. What is her name? Sashenka?
Sashenka or Shashenka?
I'm pronouncing it Sashenka.
Sashenka.
Troubling implications given our duet session, Mads.
And that's what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah, I
Once it
know.
reaches like, near that particular episode, it's like that's going in as a, I don't know what the hell you call it. What do they call those
It's a
side
side
episodes?
story.
Is it? Okay, I don't know. Well, anyway, it's gonna, once I finally start posting these things, it's like, yeah, it's going in like the same week I'm posting the previous
All right.
episode.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't want to make it required reading though.
No, it won't
But
be. I mean, that's why I've been hinting at it. It's like it hasn't been,
I mean,
you
you
know.
pretty much got everything from it, I think.
Mm.
And if not, ask one of us. But
We could put the coins in the fountain have the shape of an arrow to the door of tower power being like literally reality is bending to show the
Where to go?
players
yeah,
where to go.
Yeah. And I mean, like you can even pull it in as a further connection of like your subconscious and dream
Oh,
consciousness is pulling you in the direction that you need to or want to
yeah.
go.
I love that.
And
They're not
so
actually in an arrow, it's just that we see them as being in an arrow
yeah.
because
yeah,
that's yeah, like
because it's
pareidolia, but
right. It's pointing you in the yeah.
Which seems to me to fit more in the nature of the Chernobog deck, along with the other coins, but whatever.
Well, you still have the money belt with unusual coins inside as well, and that was found
I
by
don't remember that
Vivi.
at all.
Well, Vivi found it from the one slot
yeah,
player.
they were
Oh,
And
right.
all
That was your winnings.
yeah.
yeah, they were all different faces. Like they were not a universe of coins, but instead were like souls or markers of individuals.
Yeah. I mean, you can go a step further
Hmm.
and say these are the individuals who disappeared and perhaps maybe are part of the deck now if you want.
We can also put them into reality warping casinos in that the casinos, the auction, everything is not money but lives.
Mm.
Hmm.
That's true because like, they're like these people
Yeah.
have been inadvertently trapped in the bubble with you all.
And the big players, Mr. Fire et al., don't particularly care that they're paying with people's lives, I don't think.
Well, they're not. That's the thing is there's no way to cash out. Like the more I think about this, the more it is just like the perfect existential hell. It's a casino where the world lit like there is no promise of wealth in the outside world because there is no outside world. You can't do anything with your winnings except keep playing.
What was the something burned precisely by an absurdly high temperature?
Sounds like a Vivi clue to me. I don't know.
I think it was the frieze of Prometheus on the wall that Zero saw to head up to the penthouse because you were accessing like walk in dreams, I think, with as an object, but then you started picking up the memory of the person behind it. So oops. But you can contextualize that any way you like. I mean, something burned precisely by an absurdly high temperature. I mean, like, it's fire, branding, permanence, take your pick. I mean, just looking at the clue distribution now, I mean, the key distribution now, I mean, like, you'd basically be rolling with a -2.
So I get to make a facet if I needed to? Is that from a future?
I think so.
Rewrite or add a facet. Okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
what facet do we need to make this work? Do we
There
have
you
a free
go.
one?
There you go. There you go.
What facet is one of these? The headings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh,
I
and I
mean, we can.
apologize. The freeze is actually the image carved into an unusual surface. So that's one. I cannot remember for the life of me what the something burned precisely in by the high temperature is now.
Wild.
Contextualize.
All right. Do we need the Chernobog deck? I think so. The reality warping casinos, maybe not so much.
Are you rewriting or are you adding?
Yeah, we can rewrite or add one if we just need to.
What if we blow up the Harbinger? What if there's no Harbinger?
But if the deck is the Harbinger, or the equivalent of,
But we wanted Sashanka to be.
I mean,
take or leave.
she can still be a part of this. Like, if the deck is the Harbinger, she could still be the one who is currently holding it, or wants it,
Okay.
or we
So
could
we
just make
rewrite.
Shashanka a facet.
Oh, interesting.
Um, we've played a lot with time. Is that a facet that we find important?
Past, present, possible future, where you all become harbingers? No, I'm kidding.
I
Am
mean,
I?
you might be kidding, but it's not nothing.
I know. So
It's an interesting idea. If we add something like alternate possible futures as a facet,
Oh,
we
man.
can put a lot of things in there. Sake of argument.
Yeah, I like that.
So you've got reality warping casinos. Are you trying to add like alternate time?
I think the casinos are the facet is what's happening now, and the other facet might be things that could be.
Oh, yeah.
In which case, I think we might be able to put the image carved into an unusual surface in alternate possible futures, because what would Mr. Fire want? Presumably freedom. So he has the representatives of the two that I'm aware of, like they have a thing that they would want, right? The Hildy Mist wants fighting and war and glory and conflict. Mr. Fire wants freedom or recognition of dues paid, or I'm not sure. That's not, he's more of a zero character, but like, is
I mean,
everyone
in that
coming
case, he
here?
wants revenge.
Fair enough. Is
that what he wants, or is that what you think he wants?
Can we ever really know anyone?
Especially without
Can we ever really know anyone?
Especially without memory.
Yeah, it's a good point. Zero doesn't even know what he wants, so he just goes with what feels right. And it's usually a pointy finger in someone's neck.
That does
What
not
did
sound
he
as
think
cool
of-
as you think it sounds.
I mean, I totally forgot to ask. And like, what did he think of Wisp suddenly sticking the light sword into or like towards Lydia's throat? I mean, jeez.
I think he was, at first, his feelings were hurt that she wasn't using the cool gauntlet that he gave her, but then also he figured, he could fix it.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, we can put a person who hears a sound no one else can hear under the nature of the Chernobog deck, in the sense that it is, at least to many people here, has offered temptations specific to them.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that key was Wisp hearing the call of the Wild Hunt, which if that was the doing of the deck, that's precisely the thing that would distract her and get her out of the way and discourage her from doing her job.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to admit, this whole thing has been about distractions,
That's interesting.
drawing you further in, out. I don't know.
Obsessed with the implication that Petri just doesn't need a specific distraction.
Petri is a distraction.
Yeah,
He's
no,
every distraction.
I love this. I'm part of it. This is my domain.
It's like the very opposite of this. This is this is a Petri alternate reality apocalypse, because Vivi's is all very precise, and this is extremely vibes, which is not how not how Vivi works.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have left an image carved into an unusual surface, something burned precisely by an absurdly high temperature, and the ancient spearhead dripping with blood, and a rewritten or new facet if we need it. What can we do with those?
Didn't we want to give the spearhead to the Chernobog deck?
Did we?
Did we?
Wasn't that the very first thing we talked about?
Sure. I think we could put that in the casinos as a sort of focus for the distraction.
Mm.
Oh, that is very interesting. Because if it was for Hildy Mist,
Yeah.
I'll get that name right once. What would she want? Well, fighting, glory, battle, bloody spears. Yeah. It's going to be
Pointy things. Yep.
Exactly. The temptation for her.
And it could also be a symbol of offering as well. I mean, what will you offer to
Oh, wait.
buy the deck?
So I guess my question with all of this is like, what it sounds like we're treating the deck as though it's sentient or something. It has motivations of its own.
Mm-hmm.
What is its aim? Like, what is the point of converging all of these realities and tempting all of these people to try to take it into their own grasp?
I've kind of read it as it's not necessarily a conscious intent so much as like this is the nature of it, right? If the deck is a tool that remakes or rewrites reality, then it is in its nature to draw people and powers in to do that, not from any specific goal, but because like if it didn't, it wouldn't be what it is. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Like it
Yeah.
can't help but do that. That's
It
like
can't
what it
help.
was made to do.
It's driven to do that, to create itself, to
And as to
word?
who set that in
amass
motion,
energy. Yeah.
we have two very convenient answers. Either division or Sushenka?
Got it.
I'll know it eventually.
I also wonder about Geyer though, because he's been tracking Mr. Fire for how long?
Well, he's been
Now?
in here with Mr. Fire for how long?
Oh, that's true. He was
Well-
he was in here up until a point.
You let him in because you turned him into a vulture. You turned him into his vulture form. Otherwise,
When
he
was
wasn't able to
this?
get in at all. He called you guys
Oh.
in because he was trying to
Oh.
get back into Vegas, and this was enough of an anomaly that he called Division to bring you guys in.
Oh, so so the deck did just fully bring in Prometheus and only like Prometheus and the mountain, but not the vulture.
He was locked out.
Which also he should be an eagle, but whatever. I just now caught that, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Alternate realities.
Hmm. And the stories aren't all the
Oh,
same.
wait a second.
It's also
Mhm.
like myth in general because there's conflicting reports. There's conflicting stories, or stories that don't necessarily connect or gel, and maybe there's different versions of the myths depending on the perspective of who's telling them.
Fun
So,
fact. They did not have eagles in biblical, like in the biblical Middle East. So I raise you up on eagle's wings is actually a mistranslation. They
interesting.
picked their one big bird that can fly very high, which is a buzzard.
Yeah, buzzard just doesn't have the same ring to it. I'm sorry.
No, the poetry is not there in English. I grant you.
I just like the idea of different
isn't that
reports.
neat?
You have
Yes.
the amphora saying, and Prometheus was attacked by a vulture, and the trireme says, "Oh no, it was an eagle."
Well, I'm also like obsessed with the idea that he is supposed to be an eagle, or like he would have been one or the other, but he is somehow both. Like he is fully part of the myth. He has become nothing but his like assignment, for lack of a better word.
Mm.
Nothing but what he signifies.
Compression into an archetype or into a myth.
Yeah.
I mean, you warp reality enough, sure. People are based down to their nature.
Interesting.
So, what does that make you all?
It's almost like they're players in a fiction.
Yeah, it's almost like none of this is real. But then to what end? Entertainment for some higher power?
To me, it seems like where this discussion is going, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that so if we don't want this to be about like facing off against Sashankar, is that right?
Sashenka.
Close enough. Better than I
Sorry,
would have
all of
done.
the like alternate
Fine.
names we got from Chris like wormed their way into my head, and now I like don't remember
No.
what the
Here's
real
what's
name is.
happening with me. I keep thinking it's Salishana Amavasya, which is a character from Cult Sim, the video game cultist simulator.
Oh my god, what?
Um,
Wait, you get that complicated name, but you get never mind. It's okay.
Yeah, no, this is the
okay.
problem. I've already got a complicated S name for a
Oh my
tempting
gosh.
moth-related deity figure, and
Oh
it's
my God.
Solashana Amavasya. It's weird that there are two.
Maybe there are true names. I don't know. You can call her whatever you want. She hasn't met you yet.
She's Shashenka in the universe where it's an eagle, not a vulture.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
Come on.
so it
Reality
sounds
warped.
like whoever gets their hands on this deck could reshuffle reality and create whatever fate they wanted. Right? If a tarot deck is about reading the future, perhaps this particular deck is about creating the future through the readings that you do with it.
Love it.
Absolutely.
And Sashanka as the Harbinger might want the deck for her reasons, but like if we as players don't want the confrontation to be like get the deck out of Sashanka's hands, maybe it's about just like a race to the deck sort of thing, or like outbidding her in the auction and us deciding what to do with it rather than, fighting something, right?
But here's the
Well,
thing, because it's like what keeps on being led to, and doesn't even matter like what has brought it about. I feel like once you, the Omens, have the deck, there's still conflict about what should be done with it.
We give it to Vivi. Obviously.
yeah, Petri gets to eat it. We solved this.
Last session, which unfortunately, Wisp, you missed the banter, which all this involved all this. Destroyed, like we'll destroy the deck. No, we're going to remake a world with it. Vivi's world. No, we're going to eat it.
I want to eat it.
Oh, Give Petri power? Oh shit.
Yeah, totally. I think that question of like what the Omens would do with it if they got their hands on it,
Right.
is more interesting to me than like the
What-
process of keeping it away from Sashenka
Right.
or whoever, you know.
I love it.
I agree.
Because that could be so dramatic as part of the resolution, which I will enjoy.
The real harbinger was us all along.
I keep saying that, but nobody believes me. Damn.
Okay,
I
don't
don't
have
think
any
I've heard you do that voice before.
What? Yep. You haven't heard me do that.
No, I think
You
it
gotta be
was
kidding me. I mean, I can
incredible
do that
first
at the drop
time.
of a hat, please. Oh wait, when did I do that last? I don't remember.
You
But
know,
anyway,
this is a different voice. You were significantly angrier before. That's it. We'll talk later off recording.
okay.
Uh,
But anyway, so yeah, I mean, oh wait, where did the? I thought there were 2 clues under reality warping casinos. Where'd it go?
Weren't there?
the spearhead. I moved the spearhead to.
Oh yeah,
try
we
to-
moved
oh,
that
okay.
spearhead up.
Okay, got it.
It
Okay,
felt.
so
Yeah, right.
right. Okay, so the dramatic part of the resolution could be like, this will lead us into the final mystery, which would be, it's like, okay, who got power and what you planning on doing with it? Oh no. Okay. But to get there, are you happy with this? Because conceivably you have enough to roll like no bonuses, straight roll, or you fit in those last 2 clues and get the +2.
I got nothing for them.
Huh?
I got nothing for those clues.
Well,
Didn't we talk about the image in the fresco or the frieze or whatever being a representation of Prometheus's desire? I thought we accounted for that too.
yeah, but where would that go? I mean, I guess it goes in nature of the deck.
Or alternate possible futures, or another. Can we make up a facet that fits those 2 clues? Is the actual question.
I mean, no, because I think we can fit both of them in the nature of the deck because they can both be pointing to these other entities like this, to Mr. Fire and Hildy Mist, who were lured here by the deck, just like outright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lured here,
Oh, yeah.
created by who's to say?
Who's to say?
Okay.
And then
So
there's
let's-
the one person entity that you talked to back at Sherwood Forest, Petri.
Oh yeah. Who even knows what their deal was? I think
Yeah.
I decided they were the magician on account of they were the magician.
He was rather grandiose when he introduced himself. So yeah, I mean, sure.
No, they were. I went on stage to find the magician, and then I found the magician, and that was it.
I mean, he literally declared himself. It's like, I am a magician, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Not a subtle bunch, magicians.
No,
That's how they get you.
but okay. So, willing to run with that, or do you want to try and shoehorn that very last clue for a +2?
I think we can put that on Hildy Mist because we have literally no context for it, and not even you remember.
That makes
mean-
sense to me.
So that also goes in nature of the deck.
Tis fine.
I mean, I also kind of feel like if we don't use it, we don't use it.
Right.
It's
I mean,
fine.
it just means less of a bonus. That's all. I mean, like, you know, whatever you think you can squeeze into this theory, and making this theory means that you're pointing towards a way to resolve this. Yeah. So.
Yeah, play along.
Or what
Beat
did
the
you
deck at its own game.
Mm.
And if the deck is about creating possible worlds, we just need to end them all. Easy.
That's also kind of our thing, right?
Hey now, how dare you? Vivi feels personally attacked.
You only need to end one. You have a very light lift compared to the rest of us.
I mean, you've already done it. I don't know what you're.
I mean, I guess Wisp also only needs to end one. It's just the Fey world.
Which, I mean, I'm sure ending the Fey world wouldn't create a bunch of Fey refugees who would be
Yeah.
downtrodden and what is the prophecy?
I am. What is it called?
Gathering accolades from the weak and oppressed, turn them into the most fearsome harbingers.
Yep.
Yeah, refugees in the Fey realm. Yep.
Yeah, no consequences. Famously, when you end a world, that's it.
I also think that if Wisp gets to that point, she won't stop at eradicating injustice in the Fey world.
I
And I think her sense of what counts as injustice will be rather skewed by that as well.
know. She will be very. I picture Wisp as being very tyrannical
Sorry, you've just
because the whispers will turn into screams of the dying and the overrun. I mean, like, you just expand that phrase. It's like, yeah. That's what I picture when I see Harbinger Wisp. That'd be great. That'd be glorious. Ah, maybe you'll get Hildy Mist as an acolyte. Who knows? Anyway, um, so I'm seeing a +1 for a roll. Does somebody want to explain explain the resolution using all this? What's the plan? Or we can just rewatch the episode and then figure it out
Yeah.
next time.
It's fine. We're just next episode is Blades of the Dark and we do a heist. We're still a deck.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. You could do that too.
well,
Although-
you made it 2 days from now, right?
right.
The deck
So
is
it's
now
happening. It's happening tonight, which, as the chronometer has been corrected, it's like it is. Yeah, you're very close. So we will fast forward game meta that when you guys decide to for next time to resolve this, yeah, we're at the point of auction and the point of buying and the point of what the fuck are you guys going to be doing about this. That's where we're at.
Point of brazenly stealing it in front of everybody else and running the heck off, and then maybe kidnapping Petri and Zero if they don't
maybe.
if they don't agree to go along with it.
I think we're both in full, like, we've gone full mischief mode. We're planning to do it.
Yeah,
All right.
trust me, you
Complete
do.
reverse.
So please roll. I'm hoping for
Who is rolling this?
right +1 mixed results or success because you do not want me to do this next tick on the doomsday clock. Trust me.
I haven't rolled today, so
Okay,
Do it. Do
okay,
it. Do
so
it.
2d6.
do it. Do it.
It's a +1.
+1.
It's an
Total
8.
3.
8.
Okay.
You take those.
8 is good. 8 is good. All right, so we will resolve this for next time with the 8s. So that is the sweet spot, and of course, you have to worry about it. So thank goodness I don't have to do that next doomsday tick. At least not right now.
Well, what would it have been? An alternate future. Would it have been fun?
Yes, actually, it would have been fun. So, I mean, if you want,
Can't just say that.
I can just stinger it right now.
Sure, go ahead. Tell us about the possible future we just averted.
Or didn't?
Or at least in another reality, it is happening. So, the doubling and tripling of people is continuing as the chronological boom is still blasting through this bubble. But in a different reality, there's the sound of spinning wheels in a slot machine, and then the ring as the final wheel settles into place. One of the 4 casinos vanishes, and the world rearranges itself to compensate. No one remembers the vanished locale, save for the agents.
I mean, that's easy. We get rid of the worst casino. The sticky one.
Yeah, I think
sticky
Archivist gets 8 just by
That
pure
had all the
virtue
cool
of screen
games.
time.
They fall into their own pit, get sucked into their own recesses.
Yeah, turns out they weren't real. Turns out video games wasn't real, never existed,
Someone turned
can't
off the
hurt you.
computer.
The holographic part has winked out. But yeah, I mean that's the alternate reality. But I will say the real stinger. Thank you very much. Before we end, sorry. In this darkened space, not sure if it's in someone's consciousness or if it exists in a between kind of region of the conscious universe. Shashenka walks. She picks up the bottle of Sprite and and a bag full of Old Faithfuls, and she will bring it moving through this space into a cosmic unreality. And she will put down those items in this space where there doesn't seem to be anything to place it at all. And she's floating in a mass of stars and darkness. And she's addressing something that looks like a wheel. It is a strange wheel that turns on many axes. And she's addressing it and saying, "It has begun. And it began long ago. You are witness. Please record the most recent results." The wheel spins. Spins fast. Spins slowly. But the axes, as they spin in this particular pocket of the universe, once they stop spinning, they form an infinity sign. And Shashenka smiles with all of her teeth and says, "Let the games begin." Resolving all the bells on Earth next week. And then hopefully we will see some downtime. Either that or it's going to be a dramatic what the heck is going on. I cannot wait. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Happy gaming for everything you're doing this week. And I will see you next time. See ya.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you.